Me. Yeah! Sorry, I'm just a little freaked out right now. Me. Him. He hasn't tried anything since last Summerween, but I know he's plotting something! Me. You're right. I'm gonna take this whole thing into my own hands! Me? I'm gonna get the jump on him! To Crafty Castle! Alright, Florida man, I know you're in there! Hello? Crafty? Nurse? I'll take Messy at this point. Got you bastard!
Reviewer, don't you know not to sneak up on someone using a wood chipper?
Nice try. Don't think I don't know what you're up to! What are you up to?
Oh, just a little spring cleaning.
Aha! A likely story. The only problem is, we're well into summer!
You know I'm bad at time management. The one time I got Halloween episodes out during October was a bloody miracle.
Fair enough. Wait, are you shredding the Fiona frightening art? Crafty, you can't just abandon this project!
Believe me, if Daddy Nintendo wanted to give me a blank check to make the game happen, I'd snatch it up in a heartbeat, but I just don't see that happening.
But the concept is so much fun! And no matter what you do with it, you can't go any worse than Balan Wonderworld. It could be a show, a comic, hell, incorporate them into Streamloots cards, I don't know.
Sorry, reviewer, but my mind's made up.
Well, gee, is there anything I can do to help?
No, I don't think... Actually, there might be one thing you can do. Just do me a favor and don't move. Pull the lever, nurse! Aha! Right lever.
Ow.
Without a hitch.
You were never upset about Fiona frightening at all, were you?
Oh no, the game's cancellation was genuinely heartbreaking. I just used that heartbreak to lull you into a false sense of security. Now then, since you two are sitting in a pit, it does a review, or else it gets the hose again.
Me. He means both of us. Why though? You haven't done any reviewable material in over a year.
Just because the original Dr. Crafty show is never coming back, that doesn't mean I can't make you review it for my own amusement. And since we're talking about Fiona Frightening, why not have you review that collection of episodes? I really feel it's where the show found its legs anyway.
Vengeance will be swift, Crafty! Let's just do this.
All right, out with the lot of you. Chew!
I like to imagine this is how Crafty ushers out his D&D players once a session is done.
Ugh. You know, folks, the problem with fan art is it has a tendency to clutter up your gallery if you don't know when to stop.
Few addictions are worse. Unless you're making fan art for us.
Well, if you ask me, this place could use some spring, or rather summer cleaning.
Something very familiar about all this.
Oh, is this what I think it is?
Indeed, Nurse, my dear. Since we're freshening things up around here, I felt it appropriate to revisit my passion project and inject some much-needed new life into it.
Kind of what we're doing now, actually.
How fantastic! For those not in the know, it seems we're going to dedicate these next few episodes to Fiona Frightening, a project of the Doctor's own creation currently under production with Azura Studios.
Demo pending. It's been far too long since there was any sort of public update from this project, to a point where people think it's dead.
Okay, if we comment on all the poorly aged things in these videos, we'll be here all week.
We're going to get the details straight from the horse's mouth. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Fiona Frightening.
That's not a horse. Where the hell did that expression even come from anyway?
Hello everyone, I'm Fiona Frightening. So nice to finally meet you all.
Must protect.
Fiona Frightening is a 3D platformer being developed by both Dr. Crafty and Azura Studios. I journey inside a world in a magical book, and the book gives me the power to turn my friends, the creeps, into dresses that give me all kinds of cool abilities.
You can just see the cue card she's reading from. Me? What? It's not a bad thing. It adds to the believability of Fiona's age. That said, I would like to bring up the premise a bit. If this sounds familiar, as I mentioned to Crafty earlier, Fiona Frightening is basically if you took Balan Wonderworld and gave it more of a Halloween aesthetic. And, you know, actually made it good. Le gasp.
The development team is still super busy, working hard to bring our first big adventure to life.
Actually, from what I heard, the big reason why this project got cancelled is because they consistently couldn't find a team that would do any work. This one was important.
Ah, yes. This is actually a good chance to talk about the iterative process.
Who?
Don't worry, kid. I have no idea what she said either.
Really? I used to look different?
Oh yes, just like looking back at college photos 10 years later.
I still can't believe the idiot looking back at me in our first episode.
Some of the previous versions of characters can look startlingly different from the final product. Take a look at some of the looks you had before we arrived at your current design.
What's funny is that, as an outsider looking in, I have no idea if the current design actually looks better than the old ones, or if I'm just used to it.
She's so adorable! Can we adopt her?
Nurse, I can't even control a mutated Pomeranian. What makes you think I can raise a child?
Messy is so lucky she came out of the drain as a fully cognitive adult.
Where am I? How did I get here?
Hey, it's me whenever I quote-unquote visit.
Okay, note to self. Don't bring anxiety-riddled bats into the lab.
Does Cherry count?
Here's how he originally looked.
Where am I? How did I get here? This isn't Foggy Front Avenue. Deja vu. Who are you? I'm you, but even more scared! I am out of here!
I just realized, how did Fiona and the creeps come to life? They can't be a Crafty experiment, I think, because they're unfamiliar with the castle and they seem to exist on their own. But Crafty definitely made them.
I'm not afraid of the dark! Just whatever's inside.
Crafty's probably gonna hate me for making this comparison, but I can live with that.
Sorta makes you wonder why we are scared of the dark.
It's because of who's lurking inside it.
Really just brought on this show to just point out all my flaws?
I mean, that's why we're here.
Oh, I'll be sure to think about that the next time I'm painting. If I ever escape from this pit of despair you call a show!
Okay, gotta put Raphael on the list of Crafty characters I didn't expect to relate with.
Oh, great. Another dog in my lair.
What are you chatting, mate? I'm not a dog.
No, I forgot that's the trait I gave you.
As sure as the stripes on my fur, I'm a cat. My mum and dad's are cats. My 4 brothers and sisters are cats.
Me. You know, I've been ignoring the bones that we've been standing on down here. Don't make me add you to the pile.
Whisker's paws are designed so large not just because of her werewolf cat origins, but also because the player needs to see her attack with them.
Yeah, that's something I find interesting. The idea that Fiona wasn't going to be the only playable character. I'd imagine allowing Fiona to use their abilities would make playing as the creeps themselves feel a bit redundant. Though I suppose it could work if you, say, play as each creep for a tutorial for their powers or something. Me.
Well, that's a shame, because I have a friend who is so excited to meet you. Oh, Barney, here, boy. Say hello to Whiskers.
Doctor!
No, bite me, it's fun.
I'm surprised neither Bonnie nor Whiskers bit him after that remark.
Hi, Doc! What's up? Just spicing things up around here. I know how to work a crowd.
Will you stop this foolishness?
What kind of foolishness would you like to see?
Crafty's a fan of Muppets and theme parks, you say?
Hello, Laguna.
You call that an introduction to my glorious character? Where's the dancers? The parade float? The fireworks?
Crafty's just upset that he has to deal with an ego as big as his.
A chance to talk about myself. Oh, Doctor, you shouldn't have.
I wasn't going to.
As you can no doubt tell from just looking at me.
Am I the only one disappointed that he's not doing so in song form?
My original design is 5 years ago. I mean hair. Really? I'm an amphibian, people!
Didn't stop Matt Brawley.
Oh, stop. Stop! Okay, no, keep going.
Well, let's see. What else is there?
What else is there?
I even prepared an 8-hour lecture on the subject.
Away with you, you slimy son of a salamander!
I will accept the fact that that made no sense because that edit was clever.
Oh no, not again! Crafty!
Hey, I have nothing to do with it this time.
Is it just me, or are the technical difficulties foreshadowing Crafty's future in streaming?
Sorry guys. I was on my way over when I tripped over the computer's cable thingy. Did I do a bad?
No, Golemy. You are perfectly fine, you sweet soul!
Okay, Golemy, why don't you be a good boulder boy and go sit and watch the rest of your show?
Okay, nursey lady.
Aw, here, have a lollipop.
Thank you!
I want it known that hating Golemy is officially a war crime. Moving on, I find it surprisingly difficult to say anything about Jackalaf's segment. Shit's funny, no notes.
Let's get this episode started with my favorite character in the cast to draw, Princess Mama.
Believe me, I understand the waifu status, but I'd figure she'd be one of the more annoying, what with all the bandages.
Yes, 'tis I, the noble and brave Sir Waxworth.
You know, there's something about Waxworth that makes me think he'd be great at reviewing lamps.
That's actually a very important point to mention. If you're going to be animating a character or drawing them multiple times, take simplification into account. An overly detailed character is so much harder to animate and move, and very time-consuming to draw repeatedly.
While yes, Nomura is king of overcomplicated art, does it make that much of a difference with CG animation? Don't get me wrong, I can't imagine it's easy by any means, but is it easier?
See, Waxworth didn't have normal legs at first. Rather, he stood on a single one to resemble a candelabra. But we quickly realized that this would have been very awkward to animate a usable walk cycle for his model.
Not to mention, it kinda does look like if Lumiere was a paladin.
Are there more secrets to my creation I should know of?
Well, I suppose there's your moustache.
'Tis truly marvellous to be envisioned so flatteringly. Thou may colour me most impressed.
Yes, yes, can I have some toast with all that butter?
Hey, don't be rude, Crafty.
It's okay, nurse. Crafty just fears positive reinforcement.
Ah! Fucking stop!
I really gotta stop referencing Balin in this review.
All this analysis is getting so boring. I've usually made like 6 jokes by now.
It's not boring if it's fascinating.
Can I help you?
Oh, my fairest lady, you have already helped me. Gazing suddenly upon a radiance so luminous, it bores through my decayed flesh and warms my stilled heart to beating anew. I beseech you, fair maiden, tell me your name, so that I may sing its chorus to the heavens.
Beg pardon? Me. Oh.
So, are we just going to ignore the pink border?
What pink border?
Inconceivable.
I'd rather just focus on my career right now.
Inconceivable!
And, to be honest, you're not my, type.
Inconceivable.
You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
No, he might be using it correctly. He may legitimately not understand why she said no.
Dismissed, rejected, publicly humiliated. I'm disgraced.
Look, I love a Disney reference as much as anyone, but that one doesn't paint you in a good light, my guy.
Alright, that's enough. Listen here, you bandaged bimbo. There's only enough room for one reanimated corpse on this show. What? You've got some nerve saying that to me in that strangely familiar voice. Yeah, you sound pretty familiar yourself.
You know, that seems to happen a lot around this castle. I wonder why. Don't mind me, just passing through.
Start your stupid show already. I ain't got all day, you know.
Oh yeah, wouldn't want to keep you from your shuffleboard game at the old folks' home.
What did you say?
Speaking of voices, while I feel the casting has been pretty spot on thus far, I'm just not feeling Ison's. He's supposed to be old and rugged, but the voice just doesn't capture the age and imposing presence on display. Honestly, it kinda sounds like he's trying to do an impression of the Beast, but he can't get low enough.
Now this is a weapon I can lift proudly into
What was that sound?
Oh, I'm sure he just stepped on some ice or something.
What the deuce?
Way to make an entrance.
Haha! 'Twas I, Los Lobons!
Gotta wonder where the name Lobones came from. Obviously it's a bone pun because Crafty is as subtle as a train wreck hitting a fireworks factory. However, Lobo is Spanish for wolf, and while the Spanish influence is clearly there, as far as I can tell, there's no canine influence in his design or mannerisms.
You can't just come on my show and cut whatever parts you want. That's what my editor is for. Hello.
Huh, I guess this was before a zombie plague hit the castle.
Your original concept was that of a musician rather than a sword fighter. You even had a band of Calavera dolls of different colors. We initially conceptualized you as something of a red mage-style character, utilizing multiple elemental magics through song.
However, we felt having so many abilities not only made your control scheme complicated in a game that already has multiple characters to switch between, it also undermined the abilities of the characters before you.
I mentioned earlier not letting a good idea go to waste. Sure, this concept was a bit much for this game, but a magical mariachi as the star of their own game has promise. And for the final character, the big bad boogeyman. I'm kind of mixed on the minimalist approach here. On the one hand, the lack of any jokes and banter help convey how much of a threat he is, but on the other hand, I for one would like to hear his design history as well. And of course for our stinger, we get Fiona and the creeps doing a roll call. Because Crafty is a nerd. Overall, these episodes were a fun look at what could have been. While the logistics are still confusing to me, it was a nice touch having the characters themselves comment on their different forms over the course of the game's development. And as I mentioned, I do hope this idea doesn't go to waste. The character designs are fun and the world is interesting. While I would like to see what a full game would be like, there are other avenues for creativity. The aforementioned options for just telling the story, maybe a D&D campaign set in a similar type of world, who knows? I'm the reviewer. You review it, I review you. Okay, the review's done. Are you gonna let us out now?
No, I don't think I will.
We had a deal!
Funny, I don't remember making any deal. Toodles!
What the? Froggy Lock? What are you doing down here?
Froggy, don't worry, I'm coming! You know, I really should have known better.